Welcome back, everybody. So it's time to rise and grind. Today it's your boy Kyle, and what I'm doing is the Mumbo Jumbo Challenge. That's right, Mumbo Jumbo made a video a few years ago about redstone. Now, I've been trying to learn about redstone. I'm a complete noob to this game, and I thought I'd give it my best shot, and who else to learn from than the senpai himself, Mumbo Jumbo. So he made a video where he did 15 builds to learn as a beginner in Minecraft and all that kind of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow along that challenge, and we're just going to kind of do our best to see if we can even keep up at all. I've done a little bit in Creative World, but other than that, I'm very, very new to this stuff. So we're going to get into it and see how it goes. So let's see what Mumbo Jumbo has to say.
So, the first project that I want you to take on is to power these two doors at exactly the same time from these pressure plates. So, we stand on the pressure plates and the doors will open up. Now, I don't want any exposed redstone. I don't want to see any redstone lines running out from these pressure plates. All of the redstone needs to be happening underneath the ground. And as I say, both doors opening at exactly the same time.
All right, so we made it over to the world. So right now what we got these two things here, and he said he wants them to both open at the same time when we hit those pressure plates. So I have to figure out a way to do this. So I'm going to try to kind of use my brain here. Now, at first I was thinking, well, hey, let's just take these pressure plates and move them up. But look, that's one door, not two. So that's not exactly right. So we got to come up with a different plan. So let's see, these were supposed to be here. So we need to find a way to power both of those doors. So what I'm thinking is, I have no idea. Just do a little circle here and see what happens. So if that happens, what happens? Absolutely nothing. Okay. This is probably like one of the worst designs I've ever done. Oh my God. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to figure this out. It's just going to take me a little bit. So here's my secondary idea. No matter which one it goes on, the way it'll work is it will slide this little brick around, and then when you come off of it, it shuts itself back down, right? So if we step on this one, open. Come on, you gotta close. Okay, why is it staying activated? That's more concerning than anything. Let's see. Comparator. I don't know if that would work. Well, fuck it. Let's try. Nope. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, did I just get it? Okay. Okay, hang on. Open. Closed. Open. Closed. Okay. Good sign. Good sign. Now, the question is, can we cover this up without it being seen? See if snow can cover it. Boom, boom. Will it destroy it? Yeah, it destroys it when it moves. But if I'm not mistaken, we should be able to do this. Will that fire it? It does, but it doesn't set this off. It's not one thing, it's another. There we go. Okay, let's see. Hey, yes, okay. It's working. Okay, we can hide all this. Where's purple? There we go. Purple's one of my favorite colors, so we're just going to roll with it. Place the carpet. There we go. Okay, we're going to ignore that. Oh, come on. Okay, let's see. Oh, it does. It works. Look at that. It even looks nice. Look, here we go. We'll even cover that up. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Okay, just for proof, we're going to do this side. Boom. We can walk through. And then we'll do it again on this side. Boom. We can walk through. Look at that. All right. There you go. Challenge number 1 complete. Let's move on to number 2.
And this is my solution. So, underneath these pressure plates, I've got myself a redstone line, which gets powered when we stand on top of the pressure plates. And then, as you can see, the repeaters then power these blocks with the redstone dot on top.
His was probably more efficient, but mine still worked. I think it's pretty fair to say. Not bad for a noob.
Moving on to our next challenge, I want this redstone lamp to flash on when I flick this lever. So when I flick the lever, that redstone lamp should flash. Now when I turn off the lever, absolutely nothing should happen. Now if you're a little bit confused, I'd suggest looking into Monostable Circuits.
Oh boy. I need to think. What would we use to make this thing go flash boom? Like boom boom. Like real fast. I don't even know. What would you use for that? So my thought process is, if this thing is going up and down, what it's going to do is it's going to break the signal from this, right? Because if you do this and if you do it really fast, maybe it'll like freak out and do like a pulse. But we have to find a way to send this through here. And I mean, we know he wants us to use this 2-block gap here. So there's got to be something here. So we're gonna put just wood there for now. So let's just think like, okay, so this would be something to carry a signal through, but this is what's being used to shut it off. So I would think that I would have to use a block, right? Because that's going to travel through there, right? So in order for that to work, so then I would have to send a signal back through this. So would it just be like this? What does this do? Nothing. That does nothing. Oh, god damn it. I'm always breaking shit. What happens if I put this down? It breaks it. Okay. What if I put it here? That won't break, but will it carry a signal? Oh, did you see that? Hang on. It just did a thing. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, so, and it can't be, because, like, if we were to just do that, what would that do? Well, technically, that's lighting it up. That's a pulse. That's not technically the one he wanted, so could we just do this? Hey, there we go. Okay. All right. Well, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I mean, it technically worked. And I think this is basically what you were talking about. So yeah, on to number 3.
Now there are tons of different monostable circuits that you could have used, but this one is my personal favourite, the sticky piston with the block on top. When we power this block right here, you can see that the block gets powered, sending a redstone signal through to this repeater, but then the piston extends, cutting off that signal, meaning the signal only travels through for 1 tick. And what that means is we get a flash through the repeater, which in turn means we get a flash through the redstone lamp.
Cool.
This next one could be a bit of a tricky one, but inside this dropper we've got a whole bunch of iron blocks, and when we hit this button, I want 6 iron blocks to be shot from the dropper.
So what I'm thinking is, what I'm going to do is this is set up very similarly, how we have the two blocks behind it. So maybe we'll do something similar, because that sent out a pulse, right? So this is like, boom, 1 pulse, right? But what we need is a way to make this do 6. So I just need to figure out how. I think I just had a crazy idea. What if there was only 6 blocks of iron in here? That would do it. But I don't think that's what he wanted. So, back to the drawing board. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. This may be dumb. This is probably like the dumbest idea ever. Not the most efficient thing you could ever do. But, you know, hey, if it works, does it really matter? You know, I mean, really? We just want to make this thing work. We don't really care if it's the most efficient thing in the world. We just want it to work. And that's the ultimate goal. So we'll see. I'm going to connect this all up. Let's see if we get 6. It's, yeah, it's not the prettiest or smallest thing in the world, but can we do it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's not reaching. Okay. And now it's stuck on a clock. Yep, that's what we're doing. That's right. It's all about complicating things. Who needs it to be efficient if you can make it work with overcomplicating it to a ridiculous degree? Because this was the noob version of Minecraft. Oh my god, what am I doing? This is so dumb. Oh man, I am sorry, Mumbo. I know this is not what you intended, and I am failing horribly, but you know what? I am going to make this work, because if there's one thing I know how to do as a fellow car guy who loves fixing things that are broken and not working like they're supposed to, it's how to make stuff work, okay? Might not be pretty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, 6, we did it. See? We figured it out. That's right. No secret anything. This was literally like, I mean, look at this thing. This contraption is massive, but guess what? It works. Let's see if it's repeatable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. there you have it. All right, on to the next one.
And this is the functioning design. As you can see, when we hit the button, we get our 6 items being shot through. And of course, the way that it functions is using the pulse extender and the toggleable redstone clock. Now, this is the pulse extender, and it may look a little bit strange to someone who hasn't seen one of these before, but this is known as a comparator pulse extender, and it's probably one of the most useful circuits I know. You just run comparators, kind of back and forth, facing around in this cyclic formation, and what it will do is just extend out your redstone pulse, which of course we've then run out into a redstone torch, which unlocks...
I feel like a total and complete idiot. Holy crap. He just did what I did with like 100 blocks with like 6. This is why he's the senpai master.
to this hopper, allowing an item to bounce back and forth between the hoppers, which will send an output through the comparator and into this dropper. Now the pulse has been extended to the perfect length to allow the item to go back and forth between the hoppers 6 times, giving us 6 items from this dropper. Anyway, moving on from that one, now what I want you to do is push this diamond block back and forth. So when I flick this lever, this piston needs to fire, pushing these blocks across, and then when I turn off the lever, this piston over here needs to fire, pushing the blocks back in this direction. It's going to be interesting, and once again, I'd suggest looking into Monostable Circuits for this one.
Well, on account of... There we go. Boom. Okay, now we have a leather. I keep calling it leather. So we need to basically have this thing push. When we flick it one way, that thing fires. When we flick it the other way, that thing fires. So probably something similar to what we did here, but I feel like we're just taking this design and repeating it because it seems like really useful. Okay, so I'm gonna have to come up with a plan here. See what I can come up with. All I can think to do is make a giant U. Don't know how, but I'm gonna make this work. So the idea is when that powers, this is gonna push, but then I need it to where when I shut this off, it turns this on somehow. So I'm thinking something with a torch. Yeah, I think if I go like this, what happens? It shuts it off. And then when I flick, yeah, there we go. Look at that. Boom. Boom. Oh, wait. Okay, so for some reason, okay, it's working over there, but over here it's not quite doing what I thought it would. The problem is that the second I go to power it, they're both powered, so this one's not able to move. So when I shut this off, it pushes for like a quick second, it flicks. It's like, boop. So I got to figure out a way to get the timing right, because that's more the issue than anything, I think. So this is like the main concept. So somehow we're going to make this thing send a signal over to there. Observers. That's it. That's the answer. Boom, 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 boom. So, let's see, does this... It does do a tick. It goes boom. Fires and returns. Boom. Will that work? Let's see. Here we go. This might be wrong, but... I mean... Is that what he asked for, or... Nah?
So on this side, we've got what's known as a rising edge monostable, because it activates when the pulse starts, on the rising edge of the pulse. So we flick the lever, and that activates that piston over there. Then on this side, we have got what's known as a falling edge monostable circuit, because this monostable circuit activates when we turn off the pulse. The pulse is coming from the lever. So when we turn this off, you can see that this monostable circuit fires, and then we get the output through that piston, which means that when we flick the lever, either way, each different piston will fire. On to the next challenge then. Inside this dispenser, we've got ourselves a bucket of water, and what I want you to do is make it so that when we flick this lever, the water is dispensed, and then when we turn off the lever, the water is retracted. So the water should only be flowing out from the dispenser when this lever is activated.
Okay, so he just basically showed us how to do that, because we just basically did that in the last one. This needs to go one pulse. Well, he left a little block. I guess that's a little hint for us. So when we flick it, it fires. We flick it again, it fires again, right? Is that what he said? Yeah. But let's see. All right, we're going to just try to do this as simple as possible and see if this actually does what I think it does. See, does this do it? Water dispensed? Oh, water not retracted. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this exactly like what we were supposed to do on the other one, because I think that's pretty much what he wants us to do. Boop. Oh, the whole thing's powered. Shoot. Okay, wait a second. I think I know what I did wrong. I think I know how to fix this. Okay. Yes. Okay. I know I'm repeating myself, but that's okay. So now I think... Oh, that's not exactly what I was going for, but let's see. Will this work like this? Boom. Fire. Yes. Oh, we did it. Okay, there we go. Okay, that just took me forever. And this is probably not the most compact way to do it. But basically all I did was I got the torch and I got the redstone coming off of here. The big thing I kept running into is these were connected. So I figured it out that if you put it to these blocks here, it'll still power it without it trying to run a giant circuit. Because that was a big problem. It kept like trying to do double at the same time. So yeah, so now we did it. So let's see how Mumbo did it, because it's probably going to be way better than what I came up with.
And the way that I've done that is by using what's known as a dual edge monostable circuit. Now, a dual edge monostable circuit will activate on the rising edge and also activate on the falling edge. And these used to be relatively big, but ever since the observer has come along, that's essentially a dual edge monostable circuit inside a block. So if you flick the lever, you can see we get a flash through that redstone lamp, which is just there for demonstration purposes. And we also get a flash through the redstone lamp when we turn this lever off. And obviously that redstone lamp is powering this dispenser, which means that when we turn on the lever, we have water, and when we turn it off, we don't.
Wow.
This next one is a bit of an interesting
Jesus.
one, because I want you to make it so that this piston detects when a block has been placed in front of it, and then it extends, pushing it out the way, and then it retracts so that we can place another block in front of it. So we place in the block, it gets pushed over here, we place in the block, they get pushed over here, and so on and so forth. It's known as a smart piston.
Of course, I would make this big old contraption, which still works, but he does it in like 3 blocks. Ugh, I swear, sometimes this redstone stuff, they give it like really fancy names for stuff when it really doesn't need it. So anyway, this one now we got to do wood, and every time we push it, it's going to fire. So my thought is that we would just have something here, like in front of it. So like an observer. So my idea is that the second I do this, it's going to fire, and then we just run this into this, because that seems to make sense, I think. Boom, boop, boop. Okay, so what happens if I do this? Let's see. Well, I can do it like this, but it's just kind of like stuck on an infinite loop. Okay, well that worked kind of, I think. It goes tink, 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 tink. I mean, this is technically what he said, but I don't think this is what he meant. Wait a second, I got it. I think I have an idea. I think I know how we can get rid of that delay. Again, this might not be the smartest way to do it, but I think this could work. I mean, that technically works. Yeah. Okay. There we go. So that's, I mean, it's not perfect. It's obviously not exactly what he was saying, but that's pretty darn close. I mean, if you look at that, I mean, it's got everything. You can do it 1 block at a time, and it technically works. It's just not pretty, but I mean, it works. So there you go. Let's see what Mumbo does.
And they are incredibly, incredibly simple. So when we place in the block, this block will then get powered, powering this redstone dot, which will then power this block, powering the piston, extending the piston, which will then move the block away from this redstone torch, unpowering this redstone dust, which will then unpower our piston. As you can see here,
wow,
happens very quickly and works very nicely. Disco
That's
lighting
insane.
is always cool. I mean, there's no time that disco lighting isn't cool. So what I want you to do is create your own disco lighting circuit. Now, what I mean by this is I want a redstone pulse to travel down through this line of redstone lamps. So each one of these redstone lamps should power one after the other, and then they should unpower one after the other.
Okay, I think... You're gonna laugh, but I think that's gonna be the same thing like what we've been doing there, but just with this. I think that's what he wants. Just like a tick, 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 tick. I think. I could be wrong. Boop. It's that second tick thing in there. Because this thing goes tick, tick. So maybe what I'll do is I'll ignore the first one. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just ignore the first one. We're going to continue that out all the way through here. So it'll just be, we're just going to have an extra one. And we're only going to run power off of these last ones here. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So now when I click it, it should be... Yeah, look, that worked good. So I can just run the feed off of these. Okay, let's see if this does it. Oh, whoa, what was that? It lights them both up at the same time. Okay, we're going to go back to the drawing board because this is just not working. I've tried a couple different things, and yeah, I'm not happy with it. So we're going to try something else. I'm not sure what yet, but it's going to be something different because this is just... The problem is every time I get close, these things are right next to each other, so they just keep firing at the same time. So I've got to do something different to make this happen. So guys, unfortunately on this one, I just spent the last like 30 minutes trying to come up with a solution for this. And I don't know. I've tried the piston thing, it just wasn't working. So we're just going to take an L on this one because every time I would hit it, it would do like 3 of these at a time or it would do 2. I couldn't get it to ever do a sequence. So we're going to have to go see what the senpai has to say. So let's see what Mumbo's got to say about it. How does that even work?
Going across, then observers running out of those. They're detecting the updates from each of the observers, and you get a chain that looks a little bit like this. And it works perfectly. As I said, watch the observer video. It's a good one. So earlier in the video, we were confronted with the idea.
That was ridiculous. How was I supposed to even guess that? That's not a beginner thing at all. But okay.
Pulse extenders. Well, now I want you to create a specific pulse extender. I want this redstone lamp to stay activated for 2 seconds. Now, as a top tip, there are 10 redstone ticks per second, so this redstone lamp needs to stay activated for 20 total ticks.
Alright, we'll give that a shot. Okay, so now what we need to do is get this thing to stay up for 20 ticks. So... I'd have to figure out how to do that, but I would imagine, I mean, why not just do like a very long repeater deal? Okay, so this is kind of like what I came up with. So the idea is that it'll go into this, into a piston, lift it up there and hold it up there. So let's see if it works. But then it doesn't shut it off. Okay, I think I just came up with an idea. Maybe. Because he used a hopper in the other one to make this thing work. So we're gonna try a little bit of that. We're gonna see if we can do it that way. Okay, cool. So that works. So then all we have to do is be able to take a signal off of this. So this way it'll power it. Boom, it goes there, it lights it up, and then when it's not, it goes the other way. Yeah, this could work. This should work just fine. Boom. Right? And then boom. Okay, so we have the timing down. Let's see, 2 seconds. 1, 2. It's close, but I mean, we could easily just go boom. 1, 2. Yeah, okay, so that timing is right. So we've got the timing right. We just need to figure out how the hell to turn this thing on and off. Because right now it's just in a constant, it's just running. So we need to be able to hit this button and be able to turn it on and off. And I'm not quite sure how to do that, but honestly, if I'm going to get through the rest of these, I think I just need to call it. Because honestly, this is... I mean, we technically did it. It's just not hooked up to a button. So, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. We'll have to figure it out. We'll see what he did.
And this is my solution for it. Now, for those of you who don't know, when you press a stone button, it stays pressed for 10 redstone ticks, or 1 second. So what I've done is I've run that output through into this redstone dust right here. So this gets powered for 10 ticks. Then 10 ticks later, another 10 tick long redstone pulse comes through and powers it. So just before this thing's about to be unpowered, it gets another 10 tick pulse, and 2 10 tick pulses lead to 20 ticks, which leads to 2 total seconds. So if we hit the button, you can see that this redstone lamp gets powered for exactly 20 redstone ticks. Anyway, that's enough ticks and tens and everything like that, because that was starting to make my head hurt. It's time to move on to the next challenge, which is to make a sand double piston extender. We need this piston to extend, and then this piston to extend, but then on the retraction, we need the top piston to retract first, and then the bottom piston to retract.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, we were starting to get into the parts where I'm like, I don't know. I really don't even know where to begin with this, to be honest. So I guess we'll just start placing wood and see what happens. Yeah? Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Right? So the idea is fire, and then this fires after somehow. Wait a second. Aha, yeah. Now we are getting somewhere. Does this thing fire? It does. Look at that. I don't know if that's what he wanted to have happen, but I mean, we technically got the top to fire, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what a double extension is, and this thing's kind of stuck. But when I shut it off, it fires again, but now it's back to here. So I'm not sure if that's what he meant, but we'll have to find out.
And the answer once again relies on pulse extenders. Down at the bottom here, we've got ourselves a baby little pulse extender, which makes sure that our bottom piston stays extended for longer than our top piston. So if we flick the lever, you can see that the redstone dust, which powers this block, which powers this piston, activates the piston before this top piston can be activated, because this has got 1 tick of delay. So 1 tick later, this piston gets extended, meaning that we get our double extension working properly. But then that repeater is very important because it makes sure that this top piston can fully retract before this bottom piston gets fully unpowered, meaning that this will retract and then this will retract it downwards. Just like that. Wow. I hope that made sense. Next up, I want you to move this block of glass from this location over here over to this location over here at the press of a button. So once you press that button, these pistons should activate in sequence, moving that glass block across like this and over to this gold block. How hard can it be?
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Okay. Let's see what he's got set up so far. So just like this, just... Okay, so we need to get it moved. So obviously, let's see. So this one has to fire first. Boop. Then this one has to fire. Boop. Then this one. Right? Wait. Okay, so the game wasn't set up properly. The pistons were out of order, but now we got it in the right spot. So we should be good now. So hopefully now we should be able to do this. So looking at this, now it makes more sense. This got to fire here. This fires here. That catches it. This pulls it. And then this pushes it. And then we're there. Wow, that's going to be hard. Okay, so this is basically what I came up with. It's a little bit crazy. It's a whole bunch of like repeaters, and I have it kind of running through a loop. It basically just goes up here. It fires this one. There's a little bit of a delay. So this thing fires. It catches it with this one. Then I put like a pretty big delay. It's probably not perfect because nothing really is. And then this thing should fire. And then there's a little bit of a delay just to make sure that this piece is here, and then it should fire. So let's test it. Boom. All right. And we did it. So there you go. All right. That was actually not as bad as I thought it would be. So cool. Let's see if we're anywhere near as close to Mumbo Jumbo.
If we place in our glass block, you can see that everything happens very quickly, and that's because we're dealing with a very short redstone pulse. Now, the reason that I thought I'd issue this challenge is because it teaches you how to deal with piston timings and how long it takes for pistons to extend and retract and how to chain piston movements together. This one is going to be a bit of a challenge, but I wanted to include it in the video because they're so incredibly useful. I want you to create a slime block triple piston extender. Now, triple piston extenders without slime blocks are very complicated, but because of slime blocks, you can actually make piston extenders really, really simple, and that's because pistons get dragged along with the slime blocks. You can see those pistons are being moved. So I'd suggest making use of these blocks right here and powering them accordingly.
So let's see. So when this thing extends, it drags all those with. So then the idea is that then you would want this one to get powered, right? And then this one, and then back, right? Because then this one will go, and then this one will go. Yeah, and then you go boop, right? So then boop, boop, boop. Yeah, okay, so that's what it needs. It needs something to make it fire like that. So it needs to go fire, fire, fire. So how do we do that? So we'll have this one on 2, 3, and 4. Hey, look at that. Okay. Well, it didn't retract exactly right, but it did extend, so this first one actually needs to be faster. So when it pulls back, ooh, we're getting there. Boom, 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 boom. Will that do it? Hey, there we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, all right, we did it. Okay, it worked. Yes. Okay, so all I did is I just adjusted the timings on this. So this first one has 5 ticks. This one's got 3, and this one's on 1. And that seems to do the trick. Boom. Oh, I don't mind that little dust. I just put it there for no reason. Cool. So there we go. We got that one right. At least I think so. So now we get to watch Mumbo Jumbo make us look like a complete fool.
And here it is, all working. Now you may be surprised to see just how simple it is, but let me just explain the mechanics. So
very
the idea
similar.
is that this block gets powered, then this block gets powered, then this block gets powered.
Long story short, I think we got it right. So we're just going to say that one's good.
Anyway, that's enough slime block extender nonsense. How about we move into some proper extender nonsense? Now this is a double piston extender, which are very simple circuits to build, and I'm sure you've all seen designs before, but today you're not allowed to use one. You can't use the 2-tick, 4-tick, no-tick rule, because although that works perfectly, it doesn't allow you to understand how the double extender works. What I want you to do is make use of the inputs that I've provided, and also the falling edge monostable circuit, which is going to help you retract that block from here back to here. And all of this should be activated by a leaf.
Okay, I have no idea what he just said or what he wants me to do. I'm very confused. So he said basically he wants this to get moved out to here and move back when I flick this lever. So I don't know. I have no idea what he wants here. So, I need to think. Something like this. So that way when I go flick, that's up. Oh. 1, 2. Let's put that on 2. Let's see. Okay, we get it. But then it gets pulled, and this doesn't. I need this to fire again, so we're going to put a delay. Let's see if that does it. Let's see. Okay. Hey, there we go. That's it. I think we did it. Let's see. Fires it out. And then if we flick it again, it goes and pulls it back. Okay. I think we did it. I think. I don't know if this is what he meant, but I think we did it. So, yeah. Let's see what he says.
So that is the timing circuit for a full double piston extender. That is the way that the mechanism works. So hopefully you understand it now.
I think we got kind of close on that. Like, mine was obviously nowhere near as clean or fast or efficient, but I got it to work. So I'm going to call that one a win for sure.
A little bit serious there, so I think we should have a little bit of fun. Here we have a dispenser that's filled with villagers, and what I want you to do is dispense a villager, launch it upwards, then push it across like this, launching it into the distance.
Okay, that doesn't seem too terrible. So now we just have to figure out a way to make this thing fire the same time this fires, and then this fires like a second later. I think that's basically what we need to do. I'm assuming something like that, so this is probably not the best way or the most efficient way to do this, but it'll work. I'm fairly certain this will work. What happens if I push the button? Boom. Oh, it fires too fast. Let's give this a little delay. Okay, so now it's just a timing thing. Yeah, this should work just fine. I don't see why it wouldn't. Because then we could just mess with the timing of this thing. So, like, we'll just put some repeaters in here. Boop, boop. Something like that. Pop that in there. Maybe we'll give it a little bit of that. Boom. I don't know if that's going to jump them up fast enough or not. This is like one of the most complicated things just to make a villager do his thing. But we'll see. We'll see if we can, maybe we can make this work. This is all going to come down to timing, I think, which I'm terrible at. But let's just give it a whack. Boom. Oh. Look at this fool. Boom. Okay, so it looks like this thing is launching and then this one is like ever so slightly behind. Like maybe I need a little bit more delay. Like just a little bit. So let's just put one more repeater here and we'll do that and see. Boom, there we go. Okay, we did it. Yeah, he launched right through. Look at that. Let's go again. Boom. Yes. Okay, there we go. I can't believe that actually worked. All right, cool. I think we managed to do it. And now we got a bunch of these DTDs. Oh, they're going to be so annoying. Don't mind me. I'm going to just do a little bit of the deleting of the monsters. Yeah. Delete. Delete. Delete! Delete! You will be deleted. Delete! Time for you to be deleted! Yes! You will go down! If I can ever get down there. There we go. Okay. I suck at this. Let's go see what Mumbo had to say about it.
And 3, 2, 1, go! Goal! What a score! Wait, that went straight through the hole. Or would it be called a swoosh? Or a hoop?
We already know he's going to do it way more efficiently than me.
As this redstone dust, 2 ticks later, this sticky piston extends, pushing the slime block up, shooting our villager upwards, and then 3 ticks later, this sticky piston gets pushed across here, pushing...
Okay, we get it, we get it. You're way better at this than I am. I get it, okay?
Shooting him in this direction, and apparently scoring him into the next challenge, which is to make a flush piston door, also known as a gem door. The idea is that these sticky pistons push these sticky pistons and these blocks across into the center, then these sticky pistons extend, creating a flush with the wall, if the wall was here, door, so it'd be completely hidden away. It's a bit of a tricky one, and there's plenty of different ways to do it, so try your best.
Alright, so my thought is, first things first, we gotta find a way to get this thing to fire. Okay, so we've got those things sitting there. We got these things sitting here, so these obviously gotta fire first. Both of these got to fire at the same time to some degree. He didn't say that it had to be all on one thing, but I'm assuming we'll have it on like a button, right? So if we use a button, then we know it's tick, tick. Maybe we do like what we did over here where it fire, 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 and then the third one will fire off of something else. That might work. That might work pretty well, actually. The power, and then run a delay. Okay, wait a second. I think I got something. Yes, this is how we're going to do this. However the hell this thing works, that's what we're going to do. So if we run a button through this thing, it's going to go tick, and then the second tick will send this thing off. Right? Because we're going to run this on that little, like, up whoop-de-woo thing. The little upside-down thingy. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So the button's going to be in a weird spot, but we're just going to make this work. See what happens. Hey, I think I did it. Oh, I think I did it. Okay, look at that. It pushed the door forward. Okay, we just got the little bit there. Let's see, let's push it again. And it worked. Look at that. That actually worked really well. I mean, the button's in a very horrible spot. You wouldn't want the button on the inside of your base because how the hell are you going to get in there? But, I mean, yeah, it worked. And all I did was, look, I literally just drew this line out. I put a bunch of delay in there. I put a delay there. They're separated. I've got this little thing going through here, which is just like this little staircase thingy-mabobber into this little flip-flop mono circuit thingy-mabobber, like what Mumbo called it. Just basically, so when I click this, that goes, and then this one goes when it clicks again. So, yeah, that seemed to work. So let's go see what Mumbo had to say.
But this is by far the most simple design, involving 6 bits of redstone dust and 2 redstone repeaters. I'm sure you're just scratching your head thinking,
what the hell? Like, that's what I'm thinking. Jesus. You make, like, my thing's like this giant-ass contraption, and here he is. 6 blocks.
I've spent an hour and a half building this monstrosity of a piston door that's absolutely enormous, and you're telling me I could have built it this simply.
Exactly.
Once again, this just relies on the principle of pushing pistons into power. So the first thing that we do is we power this redstone line right here, which is powering nothing. Nothing is being powered by this, but then 2 ticks later, all of these pistons extend, which will push this unit across underneath these sticky pistons, which will then cause them to push out their blocks. Just like this.
Wow.
That all looks good. And then for the retraction, this redstone gets unpowered, these pistons will retract all their blocks, and then 2 ticks later, all of these pistons will retract, pulling those pistons and their blocks back into the walls. Just like that. And for the final redstone challenge, what I want you to do is build a computer. I want you to build a computer that you can play Minecraft on with a working version of YouTube on it. So I can upload YouTube videos of me playing Minecraft inside that computer.
Are you trying to break me right now? Are you trying to break me? Because this is how you break me. This is ridiculous. Come on, man. You gotta be kidding.
Minecraft. So, crack on.
No, I refuse. No.
No, I'm gonna be totally honest, and you can call me lazy for this, but I didn't create a working solution for the final design. But however, if you've managed to create one at home, then just please send it to me, because I would love to see that.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Then I would obviously love to see it. And also, side note, what are you doing watching a Redstone for Beginners video? You're definitely not a beginner at Redstone if you're building that sort of thing. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did,
okay, yeah. You got me on that one, Mumbo. I hope you do see this, though, Mumbo. I did give it my best shot. There were a few things you definitely had me tripped up on. But by the end, I like the way you had it set up, because there was parts where it was like one thing kind of built on another thing, to where by the end of it, it all kind of made sense. Obviously, I did things probably the least efficient way possible, but I mean, I tried and I learned. I definitely learned a few things from this, that's for sure. Like that mono unstable flip-flop circuit thingamabobber. That thing I'm probably going to get a lot of use out of in my own survival world, because I just started one not too long ago. And I'm definitely more interested in the redstone stuff than I am in the building stuff, but I kind of want to learn both. But I really like this redstone stuff. So, you know, you're one of the big inspirations as to why I started this whole thing. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. I hope you do see this. If you don't, I get it. Small channel and all that stuff. But either way, and if any of you watch this and enjoy it, I encourage you to go watch his video and maybe attempt some of these things as well. Maybe you can come up with a different way of doing it, even though you've already seen the answer as to how it's done. But I'd be curious to see, you know, if anybody else can manage to pull this off being a noob. But yeah, so that's it for me, Sergeant Derps, Kyle, a.k.a. Kyle Crocodile, whatever you want to call me, I don't know. But if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and share it with your friends. Let them know, because nobody knows I exist yet. So who knows, maybe in the future we'll be able to do more of this stuff, and I'll try out some more crazy stuff. If you have crazy ideas, you know, put them down in the comments, and I'll give it a shot. If it's anything dealing with redstone, I'm totally down. So I look forward to seeing you all in the next one, and have a great day.